Hello and welcome to Movie Bears the Farx Brothers. I'm Kirk.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're here with filmmakers Alex Suszko and Jennifer Prettyman. Today we're going to be talking about Babygirl, non-spoiler section.
Can we get Jennifer? Can you give us a what do you think the log line of Babygirl would be in the non-spoiler section? Obviously.
What is it with you and your log lines?
Yeah,
you're always making me come up with log lines.
that's an advertisement.
I can't even come up with log lines for my own films.
Alex, would you like to give us a log line for Babygirl?
Sure.
Thank you for answering a binomial question in a with a yes or a no, which is the correct thing to do.
If I were to give the log line that they would want, I'd say powerful CEO woman wants to explore her sexuality and finds the opportunity in the presence of a younger man.
Yeah, that works much better.
I mean, it's better, but that's not even.
All right,
Jennifer,
even really, what's the log line?
It's a good debate about log lines. See,
yeah,
it's a debate show.
Let's just have the whole show be about log lines, because you know why neither of those are okay is because I don't feel like it was her decision in the film to do that. I think the opportunity was there because of his advances, and she kind of went with it and wanted it, but it wasn't like that was something she was out searching for or looking for.
Have either of you, any one of you, seen the show Billions on Showtime? The very first scene of Billions, and this is relevant to this movie, but I'm not going to say how in the non-spoiler section, is Paul Giamatti ball gagged and being spanked or whipped by a dominatrix. And you find out that he is a very powerful person in the next scene. But the first scene is him getting into some BDSM. And one could argue that people in powerful positions sometimes like to not have to make decisions. So decisions being made for them. That's an argument I would make for preserving her agency as the protagonist.
I get that, but I love Paul Giamatti as an actor, but I don't want to see that ever.
This is a 6-season show with spin-offs on Showtime.
I just don't even want that thought in my head. Of
Broke
seeing
people
him.
like being dominated too.
I am aware of that from not my personal life, but accounts I've heard from others that I'm close to who are not particularly wealthy.
It's okay, Cal. It's a safe space. You can share with us.
I know. It's funny because kink has come up in relation to nerd communities on this show before. And would you call this movie kinky?
I didn't really find it that kinky at all.
Okay.
No.
For me, it was
pretty
very
service level, I think.
What are you guys doing in your private lives?
They don't go that deep into it, though.
Sorry?
They don't go that deep into being submissive. Her being a submissive.
Okay, we'll save that for spoilers, but that's
that's part of the movie. That's part of the trailer. She's trying to be submissive.
No. I just feel that I could argue very specifically that there are times where people are submissive in the movie Babygirl.
My version of what people usually do when they're submissive is a lot more extreme.
Okay. Do you want to talk more about that? What's in your
head?
head?
I imagine it's a lot more degrading, right? They're not. There's a lot more slapping around, a lot more vulgar language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the film was pretty mild as far as all of that was concerned. Yeah. I
was willing to recommend it to my mother, which is just because so my thought process was that this movie is exactly what my sister wants to see when she goes to the movies, and my wife wanted to go. She was going to be on this episode. She's not feeling well. She's a public education employee, so who knows? I'm blaming public education for getting her sick and not being on this episode.
Lots of germs there. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the rare movie that my wife was like, "Oh, I want to see that. I saw the preview, and I want to see the movie." So I thought, well, maybe my mom would find it interesting. And I agree that it's not so out beyond the pale that a 70-year-old would have a problem with it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Did your wife like it? I'm just curious.
Yeah, my wife liked it a lot.
She did.
Well, in the sense that it was funny because in between the Lori episode, she was taking the picture, like whenever we did that episode, and she was telling me, "Oh man, I saw Babygirl today, and it's all I can think about." And Lori was like, "I haven't even heard of this movie," and she hadn't heard of The Substance at that point either, or by that point she had because she'd watched it, but. Absent my provocation to watch The Substance. Had you heard of this movie, both of you, before? I know you were aware of it, Alex, as you nod vigorously.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you aware of it because of Alex, Jennifer?
Yes, I think so.
Your filmmaking partner being so excited for it. Should we get into the...
He was very excited for it, and now he hates
Yeah,
it.
it's the
So-
best movie
I
ever
was so
made. That was the
disappointed with
prediction.
it.
Do you know why you were? I know why you were disappointed.
No, it wasn't because my expectations were so high.
No, I know why you were disappointed.
Why?
Because you are a huge fan of the piano teacher, and I have a feeling that you thought maybe they stole some things from that, but it wasn't nearly as good as that. Does that have anything to do with it?
No, I didn't think about the piano teacher once.
Is that
For
really?
the biggest problem that I have with the movie, which is that I just at no point bought the main story.
In what sense did you not buy it?
Like, I didn't think there was any authenticity to how the relationship develops. I didn't think the characters spoke in a way that real humans would speak in these situations. I can't talk about what my problem with Antonio Banderas' character was without spoiling it. So,
Jennifer, Jennifer, since you asked what my wife thought of the movie, and because I'm genuinely curious, what did you think of it? And do you disagree or agree with what's been said so far?
I actually really enjoyed the film. I thought there was a lot of chemistry between the two characters. I found it quite believable. I disagree with Alex actually quite a bit. I had assumed you didn't like it because of what I had mentioned about the piano teacher, which, I mean, they're two very different films, but there are some similarities for sure.
Did you talk about the piano teacher?
what
I'm
happens
not
in
sure I'm
the piano
familiar.
teacher?
one's a masterpiece and one's garbage.
When's the piano teacher from? Who's in the piano teacher? Who directed? What's the piano teacher
One of
from?
the greatest movies of my lifetime.
Say anything else about it. Is there a piano in the movie?
Yeah, it's about a piano teacher.
Played
Who's the
by
director? Yeah.
Played by Isabelle Huppert, directed by Michael Haneke. It's a French movie.
Oh,
Got it. Okay,
foreign
thank you.
film.
And from 2001, and it's about this young guy who becomes infatuated with this piano teacher, and so she becomes he doesn't stop pestering her, so she's like, all right, here's a list of demands of what I want you to do to me.
The teacher says, here's a list of demands that I want, or he gives her the list.
She gives him the list of stuff that she wants him to do to her.
Cool.
It's a great movie.
Is it sexual? The things that...
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, so the roles are kind of reversed in a way.
Okay.
But Alex wanted me to watch that film because her character, he wanted me to watch that for the character I was playing in his film.
Dalwa.
No, My Little Sunflower.
Oh, the new one.
And it was a really good film. I enjoyed it. Her performance was incredible. Like she's fantastic. But just, some of the things like how she was addicted to porn and how she got off, she had kind of weird sexual desires and things like that. And, he's the younger man and she's the older woman. I mean, there were a lot of similarities.
Is she addicted to porn in the movie?
No, they're talking about the piano teacher.
Oh,
You're
the
talking
piano
in the,
teacher,
in
not
the
in
piano
Babygirl,
teacher. So
like-
there's that, porn aspect. I mean, that's like how she got off. And
Well, I mean, that the second scene of Babygirl involves porn and someone, I think it's spoiling to say that's, somebody gets off to porn in this movie, right? And
well, yeah, because her husband can't satisfy her. And she pretends to climax and then has to go in the other room and turn on porn and
I'm surprised she
masturbate.
doesn't hear it. Yeah. Because that thing was kind of loud, wasn't
I know.
it?
I was like, but
Yeah, he probably heard that. Yeah.
this is kind of, this is spoiling, but it's the first two scenes of the movie, and you walk into this movie going, oh, I imagine there will be something sexy. Did you think she was going back to work before you saw the porn? Because she's a high power, I go into the movie going, she's a high power executive. We've seen her having sex with her husband in the very first scene, and then I thought she was going to work. And when the reveal that she was watching porn was surprising to me. Was it not surprising to you guys, given
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. She was totally faking the orgasm.
You could tell.
Like,
I didn't know. I don't know what Nicole Kidman orgasm's like.
Okay, I was going to say
I think a
something
lot
right
of
now,
people
and
know
I'm not
that,
going to
yeah.
say
Please
it.
say it. Please.
I am not going to say it. There is no way I'm going to say it. Never mind.
Wait, Kyle, do you know if a woman?
I was going to say your wife is probably really happy that you don't know the difference.
Oh, dang! Ouch!
It's smart to ask. That's what I've always found.
All women do it. No, seriously,
no,
all
I'm
women
aware.
fake orgasms.
I've
I mean,
heard.
technically, it's
Because we
harder
want
for a
you
man
guys to
do
feel
it.
good, you know?
Great.
Fake it, I mean.
This is why I wanted multiple women's voices on this episode, but my wife is the same.
And I'm the only one. She's
I'm
going
so-
to laugh when she hears that.
She doesn't listen to the podcast. She might listen because this is a movie she saw and she wanted to, and she saw The Substance. But okay, so Jennifer liked the movie. Alex didn't. It sounds like the basis for appreciating it is on what level of authenticity you found the relationship to have.
For me, I'm not going to speak for you on why you liked
What
it.
didn't you feel was authentic about their relationship?
First, the kind of guy that the main guy is, I don't remember his name.
Harris Dickinson?
Yeah.
Samuel.
Okay, yeah. So that guy doesn't exist in the real world. It's like a femcel fantasy.
Oh, I
What?
define femcel for the audience.
Wait, why is that?
Why is what?
Because I've known men like that, so I disagree.
No, you
Yeah.
haven't.
Wait,
I haven't.
Can Jennifer describe what she thinks Samuel is like, and then you can disagree with her if you disagree with her. But I'd like to hear Jennifer explain who is this Samuel type, and what are they like?
So what I liked about his character is, okay, first of all, he's this young guy. He's very hot. He's attracted to an older woman, which a lot of younger men are. Like, it's not uncommon, that whole thing, right? So as it starts off, I feel like for him, it was just kind of an attraction and excitement and whatnot, which it often might be.
Mm.
You know, but as the film went on, I truly felt like he cared for her, and like it turned into a lot more than what he had just meant it to be. And he displayed his character, a sense of vulnerability that I think really showed that. I think he did that really well. And so I don't understand why you think he isn't real. What
He's
about him
not.
isn't? Why?
Because of the power dynamic set up just from a socioeconomic status. A man in that position, an intern position, would not speak to an executive as blatantly sexual and dominating as he does. There's no guy, I don't care how confident or hot you are, there's nobody that would speak that way.
I disagree, but I can't say what. No, I'm just kidding.
But Alex, do you remember in the scene where she tells him about how she felt that he really could see her and feel her and know her?
No, I don't remember that.
Is that after they have been together a couple of times?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
feels like it'd be later.
It's later.
Okay.
And so I think there are people who can read people really well. And I think he just kind of knew her.
No.
I mean, technically, he was kind of testing the waters too, so he became more bold as the relationship went along.
And plus,
I mean,
She drank the milk,
I think
and that was it, man.
younger men
Let's save the milk. for
Are-
spoilers.
it's in the trailer.
Please tell us about younger men, Alex, as a younger man in this room.
All right, how do I phrase this in a way? Younger men are interested in older women because they're easy.
What? That's
Wait,
not
but
true.
there's but
Yes,
you're
it
saying
is.
no. Hold on,
It
you're,
is
you're
true.
saying it's not realistic because he's the intern. He wouldn't be interested in her as a CEO, or are younger men more interested in older women on the same level?
Madonna is dating a 26-year-old. She's 66. So, like, this,
Well,
there are
yeah.
powerful women out there who can date younger and seem to enjoy themselves. God bless.
No, I understand, but I don't think that she actually wants to date him. I think that she's just trying
They're
to.
not dating.
I think Madonna has
Explore.
options. Oh, you mean
No,
in the movie?
movie.
Yeah.
I think she's she's wanting to find an escape from the sex that isn't working, and she wants to explore some fantasy of hers.
At first.
Which is what a lot of older women who are sex deprived because their marriage is run dry want to do. And
can I hand you another shovel, sir?
Younger men are like, okay, sure, there's this cougar who's obviously very thirsty. I might as well go for it, whatever.
Wait, but you're saying that's
so shallow. That is so shallow. No, you don't feel like you couldn't tell in that conversation in the car, that whole scene right there, you don't think that he felt something for her?
No, I thought he was manipulative in that scene, but I think we should save it for spoilers. Can we maybe pivot the conversation to, is this movie a thriller or is it a comedy? Because how you approach it might affect how you... Do you understand what I'm asking?
Definitely not a comedy. Definitely not a thriller, though. I don't think there was anything suspenseful about it. I mean, if they get caught, but I don't think
the director literally thought she was making a thriller and then realized she was making a comedy.
What
Why
parts
a
were
comedy?
funny? Yeah.
What, I don't...
Did people laugh in your screening?
Yes.
No.
And you were in LA when you saw it, correct, Jennifer?
Yes.
Which is relevant to the interview episode everyone should go listen to. So people laughed in your screening, Alex. Did you see it in the Twin Cities suburbs?
AMC in Roseville, yeah.
Okay. I saw it in the Edina AMC.
Well, if they ask which part did they laugh at, though? What's the joke?
Were they laughing throughout the movie?
Yeah.
Well, it was like they weren't laughing like the same way you would laugh at like 50 Shades of Grey, which is unintentionally bad.
Yeah.
They were laughing because it's like a giggling, like, my boyfriend should do this to me.
Oh,
kind of thing.
I think that's overinterpreting why people are like, I can tell you my wife and I were laughing because the situations were tense, but
they weren't.
They were funny. People had chosen to be in these situations that were very awkward.
That's laughing from awkwardness. I don't think that's laughing from comedy. It's not funny. I think it's more awkward than funny.
If it makes you laugh, it's comedy, period. That's objective. Whether it's intended to be comedy or not is a different conversation. And I listened to the director talk about the movie. She's a Dutch person who thinks she's being funny. Like, have you guys seen Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? That's probably helpful.
Yeah, I've seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. I want to see it.
Okay, it's from the same director.
Right, yeah.
She didn't write that, but like, also that's a movie where it's like, is it a thriller or is it a comedy? Is it
It's
both?
comedy. Definitely a comedy. Because they're doing drugs, they're talking about sex, they're
Hey, if they're talking about sex and doing drugs, it's
and
comedy.
boomers and millennials. Yeah, it's definitely
Blow is
a comedy.
a comedy, everyone. Just so we're clear. So, Jennifer, talk more about why you think it is neither a thriller or a comedy.
I think
please.
it's a drama.
You think it's a drama? What do you mean when you say that? I'm confused.
We had this the last podcast we were talking about.
I still don't understand drama.
I mean, it was a drama because there was all this conflict going on, right? It certainly wasn't a comedy. I don't really think it's a thriller because it's about relationships and it's about, people who are unsatisfied and who are looking for what's going to make them happy and excited, and I would call it a drama.
Would you say Samuel's I could the scene in the car, I would argue he's unsatisfied, quote unquote. But would you say Samuel's character is unsatisfied at the beginning of the movie?
I don't know. That was one fault I had I had a couple faults with the film, but I really wish that they would have delved deeper into the characters. Like, I don't think it was a great character study of either one of them. I wanted to know more about both of them. Because
it was a femcel fantasy of a movie.
It wasn't femcel.
Yeah,
Can you explain that? Is that like incel but femcel? Is this from your red Reddit?
No, it's basically exactly what she just said. Is there's no deep dives into the characters because the fantasy of this sexual power dynamic is the point of the film, that the director wants to see this situation played out on screen, some sort of weird wish fulfillment because the director's probably not getting any action.
I don't think it was that indulgent, though. I don't think it was.
You're gonna get us canceled to no end.
Well, no, we have to be honest. Okay, so when does the film take place? What year?
I think prior to Me Too.
They have smartphones, so
yeah.
probably,
So after 2010.
Maybe, yeah.
So in the past 15 years the movie takes place, I would argue possibly before Me Too. Was there any Me Too conversations in the movie?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it could be present
But
day.
anyway,
It
I
doesn't
asked
matter.
the question
Yeah.
because of the four of us sitting here, who is most closely aligned with the identity and demographic of the two main characters?
Well, you and Jennifer, because you're a 20-year-old man, and I assume...
Right, but I'm a poor 20-year-old man, and she's not some executive.
I think of
So-
Jennifer as very powerful.
Thank you, Kyle.
That doesn't change what I said. She's not
Okay,
some
well,
executive.
what's the point you're trying to make here?
The point I'm trying to make
my
is-
dear young friend.
I'm speaking to the perspective of the young man in an intern position as a young man who doesn't have a lot of money and has had relationships with older women.
Cute.
This guy is not the way any man behaves because it's this weird selective identifying of toxic masculinity. If the guy's hot and doing these things that just happen to
That's an old argument.
match your kink, then it's great. But if he's not, then it's toxic masculinity, and it's not okay.
No.
Yes.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
Okay. Explain to me how it's not.
He was very self-assured, and he projected that, and he could kind of read her, and so he went with it, right? Like, she could have fired him like that. He took a chance, but she was attracted to him, and he knew that, and so he worked it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Darn it, I have
From-
to... Oh, sorry. Keep going.
You know, she went with it, and it was kind of back and forth. I think they both displayed a great amount of strength, yet vulnerability. And that's what I really liked about both of the characters. They were both, they both showed their vulnerability, even though,
No,
you know,
he
they're-
didn't, though.
Yes, he did.
Because he's out at the bar talking with other girls. He clearly has options. It's not like, you know,
You don't feel like he was kind of drawn to her? I mean, he was so hurt.
as like a
when
conquest, as like I'm going to explore this thing. Can I dominate this person? It's like a challenge to himself. He doesn't need her.
Bro, can I tell you, from watching A Knight's Tale, women don't like that. They don't want to be a conquest to be... like,
No, I understand they don't want
A
to
Knight's
be.
Tale, help me understand that.
No, I
Yeah,
understand
let's start
they
other
don't want to be.
episode.
But in the relationship in this movie, that's what she is to him.
Jennifer, could I disagree with you on she could fire him at any moment? Because I think
You
it's...
can disagree with me, yes.
Thank you.
I still like you.
You shouldn't. Because the argument is the Me Too argument that if someone who's more powerful takes advantage of someone who is less powerful in a work setting, that could have blowback for them. And that's why, and I think they address that in a scene, specifically the hotel scene, which I won't go into just because I think he addresses that to some...
No, but I'm saying, like, before she ever went along with anything, before she did anything, right? Because
Sure.
he was coming on to her first. So at that point, she could have gotten rid of him.
And this is where I have to disagree with Alex, is there's a health recommendation he makes to her early on in the movie. And I have said things like that to people, men and women more powerful than me in my positions. Like, well, actually, you pronounce that this way. And I've had powerful executives that find that to be good and powerful executives that find that to be bad. And you just got to not care about them and be true to yourself. And I think he was being true to himself, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're kind of arguing a point that I can't go too deep into because I don't believe that these characters are actually real people or reflective of how people behave, especially Antonio
was
Banderas'
she at least
character who we
real?
haven't even gotten to yet.
Well, was Nicole Kidman at least real, or was she not?
No.
Not even Nicole Kidman?
Well, I think a woman could create a robotics company like she did. I
don't
thought
think
that
that's
was
what he was
believable.
implying.
How is she not real to you?
If she wanted to explore this kink she has, she could have done so with anybody, and probably somebody of a higher class than some intern.
What does that have to do with anything?
But that plays to her being submissive, though. That's part of it, isn't it? Like the power dynamic, she wants that. If an intern could tell her what to do, I think that's more of a kink for her.
Paul Giamatti
Right?
thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
people do that all the time.
Do you think that it being a robotics company had anything to do with?
No.
To me, I read into that a lot as like
they were organizing something?
the way we're atomizing society by making people more obsolete. That these types of ways that make us feel more connected, even though they be,
I saw that. I totally saw that.
Oh, I did not. No.
Suck it, Kirk.
I did not.
Yeah. I'm not alone here.
Yeah.
The robots will make you feel alone.
I'd like to go back to Alex's comment about how a woman of power, somebody who has money and whatnot, wouldn't be interested in this young intern who has no money. That's absolutely why she would be interested in him, right? Because it's opposite of what she has. She doesn't need, her husband, they're successful. She has money. She has power. She doesn't need to have somebody who has those exact things. So to her, he's probably like a breath of fresh air, right? And more attractive to her because he's the exact opposite of what she has. And that's a lot of times, they say opposites attract. That's totally true. And you and I, Alex, have had this conversation before. You feel like women want men who have money or, who can do things for them and stuff like that. That isn't true at all, especially in this case. So I just wanted to argue that point.
To voice what I heard someone else who was a woman on a previous episode say, something to the effect of, and this was Lori Rivers on previous episode, saying something to the effect of, for men, you need to have money to get ahead. Like, you'll see an ugly man with an attractive woman if he's got money. And then you'll see for women, for men, they're judged by money, and for women, they're judged by beauty. If you just go to the only one dimensional. That was something that I believe, Kirk, am I?
Yeah, that was right.
Okay.
Lori
Well,
mentioned that.
that's just reality. That's the experience of every dude.
Well, if
Is
you're
that-
only using one factor is kind of what I'm saying.
there's more than one factor, but if a guy is super rich, he can get with anybody he wants.
I think Bill Gates would have trouble getting with Zoe Saldana.
No, I don't think he would.
That.
I really don't.
Because that's the theory on why these really rich guys need to work through a Jeffrey Epstein, is because, not to make it gross, but some of the people who get very powerful, they're good at, and I can relate this back to Babygirl, is that they only understand power dynamics and they don't understand painting with black and white numbers, very objective things. Whereas I believe our dear friend Jennifer is suggesting that the world is full of color and nuance prevails in lots of different ways. Jennifer, am I?
That's a beautiful way to put it. Yes.
So one of the things that you wanted to talk about, Antonio Banderas, and we're still in the non-spoiler section. We want to bring it to a safe landing here. He is, it's not a spoiler to say, a theater director. So he's in the arts, whereas she is very much not the arts person. She's a very left brain, and she comes across as more right brain because he's a theater director. Whereas Samuel, I don't see as he's an artist in a different way, because he's creating this situation that he has observed through his ability to read people, as I believe Jennifer has said.
Yeah, but there's so little about his wants and his dreams. I don't know if you can make that call. I don't even know if he's creative or right brain, left brained.
He's a business person because he's able to talk about how he asks a question early on that's related to business. My point is just that you don't often see people who are business people and artists. You'll see one or the other. And so it was kind of this would only happen to her at work, where she'd run into somebody who was conniving in this way to manipulate people to their own ends, which I feel corporate structures encourage. I don't, what are all your relationships to corporations, Jennifer? We'll start with you. If you worked in a big office corporation, type of setting in your past?
I actually never have. So
Okay.
yeah, probably wouldn't be the person to ask.
I just feel it breeds this. You've worked in big corporations, Kirk.
Yeah, I'm working in one right now, yeah. Office, corporate environment.
And it kind of dehumanizes you in some way, and anything that would...
me a little bit.
Okay.
Sure.
Alex, any corporation experience? I know you work for was it City?
Cable TV station.
Cable TV station. Is that a corporate, is that more than 100 people that all work in that same organization?
It's complicated. Technically, we're I work for the government, sort of, in a way, but it's a bunch of tree branches sort of thing.
Let's end on what Jennifer thinks she's most excited to cover in the spoiler section so that people are tantalized to listen to the next episode.
I really want to talk about the ending and its meaning.
Oh, yeah.
And how it could have been better.